interesting story that was released last night, a press release from Matt Bauer's Auto Group. If you're not familiar with Matt Bauer's Auto Group, it's based out of New Orleans, got about 12 locations throughout southeast Louisiana. They released a press statement saying that they had partnered with Elijah Haven for a name, image, and likeness deal. Most of you probably know who Elijah Haven is. If you don't, I'll let you know. Elijah Haven is the quarterback over at the Dunham School here in Baton Rouge. He is the third-ranked player in the nation in the sophomore class for football, according to On3. He's also an excellent basketball player, and has actually been here on site to be on After Further Review with Matt Moscona just a couple of months back during football season. Incredible athlete, phenomenal kid. By all accounts, I was blown away by his maturity in the interview that he did with Matt Moscona. But he's going to be a big deal here in the next couple of years, and we'll be able to name where he wants to go to college to play quarterback. LSU is certainly in the mix there as the hometown team, but he'll hear from everybody at this point. He will be a big time recruit. And that's immediately where everybody's mind goes when you start to talk about name, image, and likeness and all that goes into that with high school kids. You just think recruiting, pay for play, because that's essentially what this has turned into over the course of the last 3 years. The press release doesn't have a lot of details here. It basically says the deal is the first of its kind for an athlete. There's a quote from Matt Bowers, who is obviously the CEO of Matt Bauer's Auto Group, says Elijah is not only an exceptional athlete, but also as a person who embodies the values of hard work, integrity, and community involvement. We're thrilled to have Elijah on board. He'll be able to support his journey both on and off the field. This partnership is more than just an endorsement. It's about elevating Elijah's voice and using our platform to celebrate his achievements and future potential. The end of it says this partnership with Elijah Haven is part of the company's ongoing effort to foster strong, authentic relationships with athletes, customers, and the communities they serve. So I'm not going to fly off the handle here. I mean, I don't know that this is some massive groundbreaking thing for everyone on the periphery. It's a big deal for Elijah as a sophomore in high school, theoretically, to have some money put in his pocket. That's not something that I did a lot of as a high school sophomore. I was trying to learn how to drive, and that's about it. Not a lot of income coming my way when I was 16 years old. So that's great for Elijah to have that opportunity. I don't know what the Bowers Automotive Group has in mind for this partnership. They don't have a very large presence on social media at this point. It's not like you're plugging him into some massive social media ecosystem. They do some work with New Orleans Football and the Jordy Culotta Show. They've done a lot of advertising, obviously, as an auto group. If you remember, Matt Bauer's Auto Group famously, after the NOLA no call, put up all these billboards around New Orleans saying the Saints got robbed and a blown call with EAUX, and he made kind of a big deal out of that. He's a marketer, Matt Bowers is, and as a lot of auto dealers are. So you figure he's got a lot of commercials. If he wants to put Elijah Haven in them, more power to him, I guess. I'm just not sure how big a platform presence Elijah Haven has currently as someone who's going to move a lot of vehicles. Now, on the other side of that, I'm talking about it right now, and I've never once mentioned the Matt Bowers Auto Group, and I'm doing a whole segment on it. So in that perspective, it does make some sense there. I guess in this case, any press is good press. Most of you that are listening to me pull for LSU. Ipso facto, most of you that are listening to me despise Ole Miss. And part of this story is certainly that Elijah Haven joining forces with Matt Bowers Auto Group means he is certainly entering a relationship with Matt Bowers, who, by the way, is an Ole Miss alum and booster. So that is part of this story. What we've learned from name, image, and likeness stories is that business owners with attachments to universities are helping collectives and student athletes make money. That is part of the ecosystem that has been created when name, image, and likeness went into existence. And when the state of Louisiana in 2022 followed suit and said high school kids could be paid, this door became open. doesn't mean that now Elijah Haven's being brainwashed by an Ole Miss booster with thousands of dollars over the course of 2 years to get him to see Lane Kiffin and go love the Ole Miss Rebels and make another movie about the blind side. That's not necessarily what this has to mean. But it's a relevant talking point, in my opinion, that Matt Bowers went to Ole Miss and likes Ole Miss, and that the number one player in the state of Louisiana, one of the top 5 players in the country, is now on the payroll. Maybe it's just out of the goodwill of his heart. He just thinks that this is a young man who's great, and I've got a relationship with his father, and we'd like to have him be a representative of our dealership on commercials, and maybe he thinks that's the best way to sell cars. Maybe there's an ulterior motive. I don't know Matt Bowers, and I can't speak to any of that. I think that most LSU fans will look at this and fly off the handle and go, oh, my God, Ole Miss alum, this is a disaster. He's going to go to play for Lane Kiffin. They're just cheating. Like, that's probably going to be the overwhelming response from LSU fans. I tweeted last night on the press release, I got a chuckle out of the fact that Ole Miss was listed first among the schools that Elijah Haven had a scholarship offer, said Ole Miss, then LSU. I thought that was funny, and I tweeted out, what a coincidence. But I think this is difficult for me to understand from a true marketing perspective, and because of that, it creates some skepticism. But I also have to point out that we're about to enter in 2.5 months a revenue sharing world where the NIL game shifts a little bit, and there's going to be a clearinghouse that has to okay the monetary value of NIL deals, and you're going to have to work for the money that you bring in. And it's going to be a non-biased third party that's evaluating all these deals. So ultimately, you'll have to take this to the clearinghouse and say, hey, here's an NIL deal. Here's what we're going to pay him. Here's what he's going to do. And then the folks from Deloitte will look at that and go, okay, that's good. Or they'll go, no, that's not the way this has to work. The other part of that is that's currently not the process. So there's nothing stopping Matt Bowers from giving Elijah Haven $4 million right now as a sophomore in high school to be the spokesperson for the dealership. Doesn't have to be cleared. And there's thought that you need to get out in front of that and make that happen. I would be shocked if that's actually what's going on here. If you want my honest opinion about this entire thing, here's what I think is happening. And let me be very clear. Let me be abundantly clear. I don't know any of this. I don't know Elijah Haven. I don't know his dad. I don't know Matt Bowers. I don't know what's involved in any of this. This is my opinion from far out. I believe that Matt Bowers is a really good marketer and businessman. I believe this generating attention for his dealerships is a good thing just in terms of name recognition. I think, as he has tweeted out, he's got a relationship with the Haven family. I think he thinks that this is a young man that's going to be a big deal in South Louisiana, and he'd like to get in the door early. And I don't think it's the worst thing in the world that we're making this and having this relationship, and we'll see if he thinks Ole Miss is a good place to go take a visit. That's my opinion. I don't think he's funneling cash directly to Elijah Haven by the truckload just to get him to Oxford. I don't think in his heart of hearts he really believes this is going to be a massive win for his business selling a lot of trucks. I think it's an opportunity to do a little bit of marketing for probably not a massive price tag. That's my opinion on this from the way outside. Candidly, as I always tell y'all, my interest is in LSU. Would I rather Elijah Haven have a relationship with an LSU alum car dealer? I would. Hand up. Yep, would definitely. Do I think this makes him a slam dunk to go to Ole Miss? I don't. I think that's probably stepping just a touch over where we are in reality. You want to take this information and never buy another car from Matt Bowers Auto Group? Fine. If you're an Ole Miss fan listening and you can't wait to get down there and buy another one and tell them thanks for making this happen, fine by me as well. I'm just here to analyze the situation. Elijah Haven's going to have a lot of phenomenal opportunities because of his talent and the way that he represents himself, and he showed that in this studio a couple of months ago when he sat down with Matt Moscona. I think he's an awesome football player. It appears that he's a wonderful kid, and this is a great opportunity for him because of the hard work that he's put in and the talent that he's got. I don't think it's got to be something where we all just absolutely gnashing our teeth and moaning and bemoaning the entire process. I'm not there with this right now. Show me some other information, and maybe I get there. I think that this is just something that's going to create a little bit of a blip on the social media world, and we'll probably not think about it a ton moving forward. We'll see. Maybe I'm dead wrong, but that's where I'm sitting right now as we kind of look at things. Hey, thanks for watching Hunt on LSU. Before you get out of here, do us a couple of favors. Hit that like button, leave your comments below, and subscribe to the channel for all your Fighting Tiger football talk. See you next time.